Welcome back to Mighty Habits. I'm Steven, and I'm really excited for our deep dive today.
And I'm Mary, always ready to dig in.
Today, we're tackling The Housemaid's Secret.
Oh, yes, by Freida McFadden.
Right. And we're here to see if it lives up to all the hype.
It really has been getting a lot of attention, hasn't it?
It has. It's got this whole thrilling mystery vibe going on.
And on a remote Scottish island.
Exactly. All those whispers of secrets, and captivating characters, and that setting. Like, you know me, I can't resist a good mystery, especially with a dramatic backdrop like that.
Oh, definitely windswept and full of secrets. Sounds like the perfect recipe for a good story.
Right. It sounds like it's not just the setting that's drawing readers in.
Yeah, the characters are supposed to be pretty amazing too.
Yeah, super complex, each with their own, hidden motivations and pasts that get revealed slowly.
Oh, that's so important for a good mystery, right?
Totally. They have
Yeah.
to be believable and, multifaceted.
Right. So what have you heard about them? Anything juicy?
Well, it seems like Moira the housemaid is getting a lot of attention.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like she's just a background character.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, she seems to be right at the center with her own secrets and desires that are super important to the whole mystery.
It sounds like McFadden's, flipping the script,
Yeah.
giving a voice to a character who's usually ignored.
Definitely. And it makes you think about power dynamics, too.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I've heard the book really gets into class and social hierarchy, especially within that wealthy family that employs Moira.
That's a whole other layer to the mystery, isn't it?
Right, like those societal tensions on top of everything else, plus, being stuck on an island.
Yeah. It just sounds so intense and thought-provoking.
It does.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, it's not just thought-provoking, it's also full of twists and turns, the kind that you just don't see coming.
So it really is a page-turner, huh? I'm starting to get why everyone's so hooked.
Oh, yeah. And it sounds like McFadden's really good at keeping you hooked without, giving too much away too soon.
It's like she's always one step ahead, isn't it?
Totally. And I've also heard that the ending, really makes an impact. People are still talking about it even after they finish the book.
Oh, wow. I always love that feeling, when a book stays with you.
Me too. And with The Housemaid's Secret, it sounds like the ending is one that will stick with you for a while. Like, it makes you really think about the characters and the themes and all those twists.
You know, it's interesting as you're talking, I'm starting to think about how this book, plays with our expectations.
How so?
Well, the title, right, The Housemaid's Secret, makes you think it's all about Moira. But it sounds like McFadden brings in the perspectives of the wealthy family, too. Like, everyone has secrets.
Oh, that's a great point. It's not just one secret that's driving the story, but the way all those secrets connect and affect each other.
Right. Like a web of secrets, right. Some that the characters keep from each other, maybe even from themselves. And even, secrets that the author holds back until just the right moment.
Whoa, that's a lot of layers. It's like we're solving the mystery along with the characters, but we're also being kept in the dark.
Exactly. Like, we never know the full story, and that brings us back to those twists. McFadden seems to be amazing at leading you down one path, and then, bam, she hits you with a totally different perspective or truth.
It really makes you think about the role of trust in all of this. Can any of these characters really trust each other with all those secrets floating around?
Oh, that's a really good question. I mean, you got to wonder if there's always this underlying suspicion in their relationships, right?
Right. And then being stuck on a remote island, cut off from everything else, that would just amplify it all.
Exactly. They're basically trapped with all these secrets with no way to escape.
Oh, man, that's intense. It's like the island itself becomes part of the story. Like it reflects the secrets and tensions between them.
Yes. I wonder if she uses the natural elements of the island, storms or the rugged terrain, to mirror the emotions of the characters.
Whoa, that's a powerful image.
Right.
Like they're battling both their own internal demons and the power of nature at the same time.
And that makes you think about fate versus free will, too, doesn't it? Are the characters in control, or are they just being swept along?
That's a great question. It's like, are their choices really shaping their destinies? Or are there forces beyond their control that are influencing them?
It sounds like McFadden is dealing with some really big questions here, all within this really exciting mystery.
That's what makes it so interesting. It's not just a fun read. It's something that makes you think and look deeper into human nature.
As we're talking, I'm thinking about how the reader's own experiences might affect how they see the story.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you've ever been betrayed or kept a big secret, you might connect with these characters on a much deeper level.
Totally.
Yeah.
The best stories are the ones that resonate with us, even if the situations are completely different from our own.
Exactly. And I'm wondering if McFadden offers any redemption for these characters. Do they find some peace or is it just like pure darkness?
Me too. It's always good to see a little glimmer of hope. I'm really curious to see how she handles all those emotional nuances.
Well, from what we've heard, it sounds like this book is a real roller coaster, both emotionally and in terms of the plot.
Right. And it sounds like she doesn't shy away from those really dark parts of human nature. Like there's no easy right and wrong. It's about understanding what makes these characters tick and why they make the choices they do.
And sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones that leave you with more questions than answers, like the kind that makes you think about it long after you finish the book.
Absolutely. And it sounds like McFadden really trusts her readers to figure things out for themselves.
Yes. She presents these complicated characters and lets us decide how to feel about them.
That's the sign of a great storyteller.
Definitely. I'm really curious about the ending now, especially since we've heard it so impactful. Like, does it give you closure or leave you feeling unsettled?
It probably does both.
Yeah.
A good ending doesn't always mean everything is tied up in a neat little bow. Sometimes the best endings are the ones that stay with you, the ones that spark conversations and make you confront those uncomfortable truths.
Right. And that brings us back to the power of stories, doesn't it? They can challenge us, make us see things from different angles, and help us understand the world, even if it's just a little bit better.
And The Housemaid's Secret seems like the perfect example of that. It's entertaining, it makes you think, and it reminds us that even when things are dark, there's always some humanity there.
Well said. So if you're looking for a mystery with a touch of psychology and a whole lot of moral complexity, this book sounds like it's for you.
For sure. If you want a book that keeps you on the edge of your seat and makes you question everything you thought you knew, then The Housemaid's Secret should be your next read.
And as always, make sure to subscribe to Mighty Habits for more deep dives like this one. We love exploring the books and ideas that shape our world.
We'll catch you in the next episode for another great conversation.
See, yeah. It's fascinating, isn't it? How a good story can be like a mirror,
Oh, yeah,
reflecting our own experiences right back at us.
definitely.
Even if we haven't, lived on a remote island or dealt with the same kinds of secrets,
Yeah.
we can still relate to those big themes.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like trust and betrayal.
Exactly. And the consequences of our choices.
It's universal.
It is. And I think that's part of what makes this book, The Housemaid's Secret, so gripping.
Hmm.
It taps into those very basic human instincts,
Yeah.
those fears and desires that we all have.
It's true. It makes you wonder, like, what would I do if I were in their shoes?
Right. How far would you go to protect your own secrets?
That's the kind of question that sticks with you,
Oh, absolutely.
long after you finish the book.
For sure.
It's not just about solving the mystery. It's about understanding people,
Yes. And grappling with those moral dilemmas.
the ones we all face.
Exactly. And from what we've gathered, it seems like McFadden doesn't shy away from those gray areas.
Oh, yeah.
No easy answers.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's all about, navigating the messiness of human nature
Right.
and trying to understand how our choices lead us down different paths.
It makes you wonder if there even is a clear right and wrong
Right?
in this story,
Exactly.
or if it's more up to the reader to judge the character's actions.
That's a great point. Do you think she gives us a resolution or is it more open-ended?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Right.
I don't know if we can answer that without, like, giving away any spoilers.
True.
But from what I've heard, it seems like she wants us to think about it,
Yeah.
to grapple with those moral questions and come to our own conclusions.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's like she lays out these really well-developed characters
Yeah.
and shows their motivations.
Right.
But she lets us decide how we feel about them.
Which makes them feel more real, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And that reminds me of what we were saying about the ending earlier.
Mm.
If she doesn't give a clear-cut resolution,
Right.
does it at least provide some sense of closure?
Ooh.
Or does it leave you hanging with all these unanswered questions?
It's probably a bit of both, don't you think? I mean, a satisfying ending doesn't always mean tying everything up neatly.
No, not at all.
Right. Sometimes it's the endings that stay with us,
Yeah, the ones that make us think.
the ones that spark those conversations and make us face those uncomfortable truths.
Exactly.
And that's powerful.
It is. And it makes me think about how stories can really challenge our perspectives
Oh, for sure.
and expand our understanding of the world.
Absolutely.
Like, even if we don't agree with the character's choices,
Right.
we can still learn from their experiences, right?
Yes. And gain a deeper appreciation for how complicated people really are.
That's what makes literature so great.
Right.
It lets us see things from someone else's point of view,
Yes.
explore different ways of thinking.
And wrestle with these big moral dilemmas in a safe space.
Exactly.
It's like empathy training,
Totally.
which helps us deal with our own challenges in life.
And The Housemaid Secret sounds like a perfect example of that.
It does, doesn't it?
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
It makes you think.
And ultimately, I think it reminds us that even in the darkest secrets,
Yeah,
there's always some humanity there.
absolutely. A glimmer of hope.
It really does.
It's like McFadden is giving us this puzzle box,
Oh,
and
totally.
we had to put all the pieces together.
But even when you think you've solved it,
Right.
there's always another layer.
Another secret.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so compelling.
Keeps you hooked.
It does. And speaking of being hooked,
Right.
we were talking earlier about the moral dilemmas in the book.
Mm,
Do you think McFadden gives a clear sense of what's right and wrong?
that's a good question. I mean, it's hard to say for sure without, giving anything away.
It's true. True.
But it seems like she's more interested in presenting all sides,
yeah,
letting the reader decide for themselves.
I think you're right.
Like, are these characters good or bad?
Right. It's not black and white,
Exactly. It's all shades of gray.
which is more like real life, isn't it?
Totally. And that makes you think even more about the ending,
Yeah, the ending.
Like, does it wrap everything up neatly,
Mm,
or does it leave you with a feeling of unease?
I bet it's both. A good ending doesn't have to answer all the questions, does it?
No way. Sometimes it's more powerful to leave some things unresolved.
Exactly. It gives you something to think about long after you've finished the book.
Right. And that's what we're all about here on Mighty Habits, right?
Outdoors.
Getting you to think critically about the things you read and experience.
Absolutely. It's about exploring different perspectives, challenging your own beliefs.
And The Housemaid Secret definitely does that.
Oh, yeah. It's a story that will stay with you.
For sure. So if you're looking for a book that's both entertaining and thought-provoking,
A real page-turner with a psychological twist.
then The Housemaid Secret is definitely worth checking out.
Absolutely. And if you enjoyed this deep dive,
Make sure to subscribe to Mighty Habits.
yes, for more fascinating discussions on the books and ideas that shape our world.
We'll be back soon with another great episode.
Until then, happy reading, everyone.